So what happens when a lifetime of experience, we're talking 45 years, just isn't enough to make it anymore? It's a tough question, right? Well, today, we're diving into the story of a man who hit that exact wall. But his solution wasn't some fancy new gadget, it was something much older, something rooted in nature itself. Let's get right into it.
Inherited passion from ancestors. This one sentence really tells you everything you need to know. For the farmer we were about to meet, this was never just a job. It was a legacy, a calling that was literally in his blood. And that calling was about to be put to the ultimate test.
Okay, so who is this farmer at the center of our story? Let's properly meet the man who managed to weave together generations of tradition with a totally new way of thinking.
All right, so let's meet the man himself, Abraham Chacko. He's 65 years old from Idukki, India. And get this, he's got 45 years of farming under his belt. But here's what makes him really interesting. He's not just an old-school farmer. He's also got a BSc in agriculture. So you've got this incredible mix of hands-in-the-dirt wisdom and book smarts. That combo is going to be super important.
Now, you'd think with that kind of resume, success would be a sure thing. But the truth is, modern agriculture threw some huge curveballs his way. Challenges that even 4.5 decades of experience couldn't solve alone.
The first big problem was just simple economics. The cost of everything was going through the roof. We're talking seeds, fertilizers, labor, you name it. Every single season, it just got more and more expensive to even get started, and his profits were being squeezed down to almost nothing.
And to make things worse, on top of those rising costs, the market was just all over the place. He had zero control over the prices he'd get for his crops. It's that classic farming nightmare, isn't it? You pour all your money and hard work in up front with absolutely no idea if you'll make it back when it's time to sell.
And then, as if the money problems weren't enough, there was the never-ending fight with nature itself. Pests, diseases, they were a constant, nagging threat that could just wipe out an entire season's work in a flash. He was getting hit from all sides.
And this really gets to the heart of it all. Just try to imagine that for a second. You've given your whole life to mastering your craft, and then one day you realize the game has changed so much that your expertise might not be enough to even stay afloat. What on earth do you do then?
Well, faced with all this pressure, Abraham Chacko didn't throw in the towel. Nope, he found a completely different way forward. A new philosophy that wouldn't just fix his problems, but would totally reshape his farm and his future. This was the moment everything changed. He decided to go all in on something called natural farming. Now, this idea went right at the root of his biggest headaches. See, instead of buying all those expensive chemical fertilizers and pesticides, he started using natural methods to make the soil healthier. He started working with the ecosystem of his farm, not fighting against it. And let me be clear, this wasn't just some small tweak. This was a complete 180 on how he approached farming. It was truly the one single decision, the one pivot that took him from the brink of crisis to incredible success.
So, did this massive leap of faith actually pay off? Oh, you better believe it. The results are, well, they're pretty amazing.
Today, Abraham Chacko is farming 30 acres of land. Let that sink in. This is no small garden patch we're talking about. This is a big, thriving commercial operation. It's proof that this natural approach can absolutely work on a large scale. And just look at the variety he's growing. We're talking high-value stuff like cardamom, pepper, and coffee, right alongside ginger and turmeric. This kind of diversity is not only a sign of a super healthy farm, but it's also a really smart business move. But he didn't even stop there. He got smart. He became an entrepreneur. He started processing his own crops, so turning that raw ginger, turmeric, and pepper into other products. By doing that, he takes back control. It's his way of fighting back against those unpredictable market prices and making sure he gets more of the profit.
So what does all this add up to, financially? Well, his annual turnover is somewhere between 10 and 20 lakh rupees. For those of us keeping score, that's 1 to 2 million rupees. Wow. That right there is the proof in the pudding. It shows his big switch wasn't just a nice idea, it was incredibly profitable. And, people have started to notice. He actually won the prestigious Akshaya Shree Award. It's this formal recognition that really solidifies his status as a true leader and a real innovator in the world of farming.
A story like this could easily end right here, right? Personal success, financial security, a happy ending. But for Abraham Chacko, his own harvest was just the beginning. Now, it's all about planting seeds for the future, for other people.
So what's his next big thing? He wants to build a training institute. He wants to take all the lessons he learned,
from all the struggles and all the successes over 45 years and hand them down to the next generation of farmers. And the goals for this institute are so clear and so powerful. He wants to spread the word about natural farming, teach why biodiversity is so crucial, and, most importantly, empower young people so they can see farming not as a constant struggle, but as a profitable and sustainable way to live.
Abraham Chacko's story really leaves us with this huge question to think about, doesn't it? In this world where we're all obsessed with the next big tech solution, maybe the biggest innovation is actually looking backward, to work with nature instead of trying to conquer it. What if the future of farming has been right there under our feet the whole time?